I've looked beyond the dark moon skies, overwhelmed by the warmth of its whispers. I sought out decisions in the midst of the fog lights, hoping destiny could marry passion in its dust. I'm mere mortal to the mighty puppeteer. Strings of fear have long laced my limbs, timidity that muzzled marching orders, muddied these massive waters where the precipitation made its home. See, the skies cried when I ignored its boom and failed to go. Fear made righteous path into quicksanded memories. Every declaration became wasted energy. Every prophetic seed sown relentlessly was retracted by a local enemy, but there's something that's still burning within our inner me's. See, we've made theme song to the sound of oratorical conversations had at Mountains Peak, played at the rhythm of which purpose beats, brightened by the sequence in the sky where earth and lightning meets. This is the opposite of blasphemy. Birthed from a holy incubator, mother womb so majestic, it was destined to be named legacy. The blueprint for creating all you see came from the parting lips of eternity, the true ghost of Christmas past, the only king who was a perfect sacrifice to rip the veil and bleed and live on this earth until 33, living blemish-free, wrapped in just as much flesh as you and me. Do you hear the sky as it roars instructions through flickered imagery? Like Habakkuk 2:2-3, take palm to recycle trees and allow this pen to bleed and make it clear enough for men to see what the end looks like from infancy. This is a culture shock and awakening. Antidotes and vaccines to your plagued and poisoned sheep. This is a supernatural disaster to all impurities. This is where the faults are shifted and erected idols become ruined streets. This is a spark to the wildfire of your dried and fallen leaves of dreams. This is a massive whirlwind to your plain and rural peace. This is a volcanic flow that erupts when hurricanes try to rain defeat. This is to let you know that every single dream you have that you can complete. This is to inspire you every single night as you sleep. This is to let you know that you were created for more and more you will see. This is so you can know whatever you had to battle overcoming is something that you'll know more than just your dreams. This to let you know freedom is possible, tangible, because we have a Father that sent a King. This is to show you love in every place that you could possibly see. This is what happens when thunder speaks. My name is Brandon Allen, and I'm super excited to be here with you today. Listen, I want you to understand something. I'm going to walk you a little bit through my testimony and my story, but I'm going to navigate it through spoken word. But the reason why I'm even up here today is because I came to understand that my story wasn't just about my ability to share my gifts, wasn't just about my ability to find hope, but it was about my opportunity to find a king who knew my story well enough that he was willing to step into the darkest moments and rescue me. He was willing to say that no matter what I've been looking for, there's something better than I can have. He was willing to say that brokenness, that loss, that failure, that cycles didn't have to be my final story. And he said that was a story that he was waiting to unfold in me. Today, I want to be an encouragement to you. I don't know what your story is. I don't know where your story currently has been, but I want you to know that you have a pen and pad in your hand. And when you start allowing the ink to become the blood that Jesus poured through you, I dare you to write a new chapter. So as we step on the rest of this journey tonight, every person that comes up on this stage, I want you to be encouraged through them, but know that their encouragement comes from the Father. And that if you decide that you're going to partner with the King today, I promise you, I guarantee, no matter what you go through, there's going to be something special on the other side. So as a kid, I used to think that for me, the thing that was gonna rescue me was superheroes. I loved a good superhero movie, okay? Now, I was a superhero fan. Would you name some of your favorite superheroes? Who likes superheroes? Give me some. Superman, Iron Man. Somebody said Batman, he's not a superhero. He has a super bank account. Spider-Man. I love it. Wonder Woman, I love it. X-Men, we got Star Wars, we got who else? Power Rangers, you guys remember? All of these superheroes. For a long time, I used to think that regardless of what I was going through, a superhero was gonna come rescue me. But it wasn't until I realized that I had to stop living out to fantasy and start living in eternity. And that there was somebody who was super, who was gonna send a super son to pull me out of my super sin, to make super live inside of me. And I wonder who's ready to find super on the inside of them. I'm gonna share a poem about overcoming fear, battling cycles, and maybe you'll hear some superheroes in there, okay? Hello, 911? I have an emergency. No one's hurt yet, but I'm fighting off some insecurities and they're torturing and they're kind of relentless and I can't even sleep because they stole my dreams and everything that's left inside of me, I think they're trying to murder it. Please, send help quick. Have you ever been so desperate that you wish your soul could have emergency surgery, like put me under, give me open heart to where the chains start, take scalpel to my flesh until you cut away all the dead parts? It started when I was asked the question the other day, one that made me think. The question was, if you could name your greatest fear, what would it be? I pondered for a little bit, searched my inner me, searched through corridors and doors that were locked by only me, fumbling through my thoughts, searching for the keys, patting my pocket, like that video you've seen, and some of you may not get that, but all of you, most of you have gotten lost trying to find this thing, wondering if it's success, failure, or maybe just a local enemy. I heard this quote from a movie, Coach Carter, I believe. You remember that scene? They said it's not the darkness, but the light that frightens me. But honestly, why does what we fear even have to be a question? See, I've battled with excuses for a while now. Hands bloodied, eyes black, the knees bowed, shirt ripped, so I can't wear my emotions on my sleeve now. Contempt, so tired of running that now I got my feet bound. I quit, because apparently I made this into a lifestyle. So sick and tired of being forced to swallow this defeat down. Focus has always been a problem for me with distractions. Then there's people, see, I'm using an excuse now. And I battled with excuses for a while now. Toiled with the torment from my dark side until I found my inner Jedi. Dear Lord, the enemy is after me, trying to sift my faith and leave me Anakin. Dark, you can't escape this light. Saber you down, prepare to fight this force. Awaken has more. Have you seen stars? This means war. And if God never gave you the spirit of fear, then where did it come from? Where does your power range from? Is it defeat or dominion? We were given sound mind and strength, and we traded with the gift from the dark one. We were told to fly on wings like eagles. Who said your sword done and you never have to stand alone? See, heaven sends you safety like an angel grove. This team brings hope, and if you ever let fear change your mind, Alpha gives you power. See, it's morphing time. Fear was never meant to be a part of your design. I want to divorce fear until I'm no longer that X-Man. And even in midst of the storm, I still make my last stand. And if I ever go rogue trying to find God's plan, I hope to see real bro come and find me again. Night crawl if I must, if running I can't. So set apart from the gray, it's in my gene. Don't you see I am mutant? I want to marvel. I want to marvel in God's love. Because there, Fear can't live. When God meets your faith, nothing's impossible. You can see that where Luke is. God is head coach, is undefeated like Saban, Nick, and the next time somebody asks you, what's your greatest fear? You can tell them they don't exist. 911, you don't have to send anybody. Everybody here got this. Finding that kind of hope for myself has been not only a journey, but it's been difficult because I had to navigate through a real story, a story of pain, a story of watching family members battle addiction, a story of feeling depressed, lonely, wanting to take my own life, a story of feeling like I could never get out of the darkness that I was in. I felt like I was going to drown for a long time. The little boy that lived on the inside of me felt like he had no place to belong. That his story didn't matter. I wonder if you've ever felt like that little boy, a little girl, a little person in you had suffered for so long you never thought they'd get their voice back. That they never find the hope or the rescue that they've been looking for. But I wonder how many little boys and little girls have been waiting to rip the muzzle off so they can scream their testimony aloud. My journey to hope and healing wouldn't be possible if the voice to my little boy didn't come back alive. I wrote a poetry book called This Little Boy, and I'm gonna do the title poem for you today, called This Little Boy. Surprise. You can actually turn the music off. Y'all remember my first real poem? I sat at the computer while my tears stroked the keyboard, my pain unlaid within the stanzas, and my anger lashed out in metaphors. I repeated why from line to line, questioning the character and purpose to God's design like this one. This one individual couldn't belong to him. I thought this one distributor of sorrows and agony couldn't be cut from the same cloth as me. I mean, how did I arrive from those loins? And couldn't he see that my bloodshed didn't match that from which he came to be, but yet this was my reality. And it didn't belong in your picture-perfect TV sitcom. See, I grew up in a different world where my family matters didn't fit and how my brother, mother, cousin, and uncle feel would shake up my will. See, I was no Fresh Prince, and my life was unfamiliar, so these different strokes would wither away in my good times. And I had no clue where I fit in. In fact, I had a skewed image of what a man was supposed to look like. In fact, I didn't even like how I looked, so the image of anything was better than this. This is a story of an unidentified human project that was molded into something that nobody could recognize. He became a reflection of what was popular at the moment and always dressed in his best self-consciousness, wrapped in how many different shades of fake could his facade portray. Yet no one took notice. No eyes cut to his cuts that were more similar to battle wounds. He laid prostrate on a mattress made of empty solemnness. He dug holes into his soul, praying someone would come fill his voids, yet he didn't even know how to pray. He repeated practice redundancies, hoping someone heard him scream with urgency, please, help me. Yet silence begets silence, and it all muffled his destiny. This little boy was dying, and no one would come to his rescue, so this little boy had to discover how to tend to his own wounds. He was left mangled, a hideous atrocity. Yet if you look for his disfigurements, I promise that you wouldn't see. This little boy cried on the inside and was flooding internally and left little room for his feelings, so he wore his emotions on his sleeve. This little boy choked on his insecurities because he wasn't taught to swallow things like his pride. And he never understood why they called them memories, because he remembered everything as if life was stuck on repeat, as if life was stuck on repeat, as if life was stuck on repeat, as if life was stuck on this little boy followed the wrong path because for a minute the road to death seemed a little more pleasing. This little boy thought accolades and self-humiliating behaviors would make life more easy. This little boy was lonely and would constantly talk to strangers because at least they heard him speak. This little boy thought love was spelled S-E-X and would try to repeat the things he would see. This little boy was lonely and constantly talked to strangers because at least they heard him speak. This little boy still survived, although he tried to die repeatedly. I'll introduce you to this little boy because he still resides inside of me. Hi, I'm this little boy. Nice to meet you. Thank you. I want you to know, wherever you are, wherever your story is, whatever you've been looking for, I dare you. Be hungry enough, be open enough, be willing enough to fight for that little boy and little girl so they can find hope that will change their world and yours. My name is Brandon. Thank you, guys.